Hello, I'm Julian Rawl, Chief Executive of Market Echoes. I'd like to talk to you about my latest blog. When listening to your customers is not always the best strategy. Now that's quite something to say, isn't it? Market Echoes were actually set up to encourage organizations to listen to their customers. And when I talk to organizations and postgraduate students, in now 8 different countries, I'm always saying you've got to listen to your customers, understand them, and act on what they're saying. It's common sense really, isn't it? And yet I try and read around and research the subject matter of marketing and strategy. And one thing I've started to think about is that perhaps we have to take a slightly different stance on this core way of looking at things. And here are some traps, 3 traps that I think that you should be aware of so that you can avoid them. The first one is the customer trap. You know, there's a bit of a danger about over-relying on what our best customers are telling us. The problem is that our best customers are comfortable with what we do. They like what we do, so there's no great incentive for them to want anything else. But that means we might avoid listening to those customers or potential customers and organizations that never actually purchased from us, but perhaps asked about our services or maybe didn't ask about anything. One thing we do know about customers, and especially loyal customers, is this. When a new offer comes along that might be a more interesting offer, it's amazing how quickly they cease to be loyal customers. The second trap is the supplier knows best trap. There's a psychological thing here, often based on how much pride we have in our own products and services. And often we genuinely believe we know what's best for our customers. How many times have you seen a new competitive offer come onto the marketplace and you've said, it's not very good quality, is it? It's never going to work, and if our customers go and buy it, well, they'll buy it once and then come back to our organization. History has told us that in many cases they don't come back. And finally, there's the competitive trap, or what author Nigel Pearcey calls the trap of the competitive box. As organizations, we tend to focus quite clearly on 3 or 4 key competitors, but they might not be the only competitors in the marketplace. Sometimes we have to rethink what competition really is all about. I'm reminded of EasyJet. You know, EasyJet leased its first aircraft from British Airways. Did British Airways see EasyJet as a big competitor for the future? I doubt it. So what does all this do? It encourages us as organizations to think about things in terms of incrementalism rather than innovation. And the results of incrementalism are all around us for us to see. Remember Nokia? Those of us who used to use the Nokia 630i mobile phone loved it. We could never think about wanting anything else. But then came Apple. Remember Blockbuster Video? How easy it was to go down to your local store, rent a DVD, pick up a Ben & Jerry's from the freezer cabinet and go home without the fuss of having to actually own that film. And then came Netflix. Think about Tesco and its one-stop supermarket shopping formula. And then came Aldi and Lidl. And airlines, and then came Ryanair and banks. The list goes on. So, how do we avoid getting into those competitive traps? Here are my 3 guidelines. Number 1, don't just research your loyal customers, but research those people who've shown interest in your organization or those people you feel should have shown interest in your organization but never did. You've got to think more widely. Number 2, reevaluate what you think is the competition. Don't just look at those core competitors, but look more widely. And importantly, take a look at other industries and sectors and find out what's happened in terms of companies in those sectors that are both disruptors and innovators. You'll be able to learn from them for your own sector. And if you don't, you can be sure that some of your competitors will be doing so. And finally, take time out from the regular drudgery of working and learn a little bit. Do some of your own research. Read, watch, surf, listen, chat, but try and learn about what's going on outside your organization, in fact, outside your sector. If you do all these three, then you'll perhaps be able to avoid the fourth trap, the trap of getting caught out. Don't let it happen to you. At Market Echoes, we can help you identify those traps and what to do about them. Please get in touch. We'd love to help.